7:09, I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Mr. Hoke, Mr. Iverson.
Here.
Mr. Grant.
Here.
Mr. Polish.
Here.
Mr. Split.
Here.
Mrs. Julian. We have a quorum.
All right, first item is to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, next item is the public hearing for rezoning of 63 Stony Ridge Road at 7:10. I will call a public hearing session open. Is there, I know we do have some discussion. Do you want to
Sure.
start on behalf of the seller?
Yes, that's why I'm here. This fellow is, I believe, owns that kidney dialysis for diseases, whatever you call it. And I think he purchased that whole area and now realized that he doesn't need that for parking or anything. So, I guess it's zone B2. So the listing will be a year at the end of the month, and I made a suggestion to him to possibly, why don't you rezone that and try into an R1 or 2? And he goes, that's a good idea. So we have a offer sitting ready to be accepted on it if indeed that is granted for a family, I believe, to build a single family home. Right now, this, are you hear about that too?
Yeah.
Oh, good, okay. Pepe, we call him, is very frugal with when you should mow and when you shouldn't mow, and I'm glad he mentioned something to me, because it's gnarly, it needs to be cleaned up. It doesn't look good. That's all I
Do you have some comments as well?
Well, right now, there's trees hanging over the sidewalk that you can hit your head on. And if it's gonna be a single-family home in there, I don't see any objection. I'm president of the Greystone Condo Association, which is
And
right up the road.
for the record, can you just state your name and
Robert Hoffman, 113 Stony Ridge Road.
Thank you.
So, no objection if it's a single-family home. I think it'd be a great addition to the area.
And clean it up before.
Yes, please.
All right. So there's no one else from the public.
Now this, Lori, is kind of like contiguous across the way you kind of were
Yeah.
describing it to me.
Kitty Corner is our 3 multifamily, and directly across is R1.
So it's not a spot zoning
Correct.
situation, it has areas that connect. So it's consistent with zoning code history, if you will.
The gentleman from the condo association has his hand up.
Is it true that the adjacent property to the east of it, going up Marine, is zoned for duplex? Dr. House's first lot?
Is it called Dreams of Rolling Hills?
Yeah.
That's, yeah,
Yeah.
that's well, what is the whole subdivision zoned? I mean, is it zoned just, R2 is 1 and 2 family, correct?
Right.
So that could be,
Yeah.
it could be a like duplex
So
there
two
then.
corner
or-
lots going up the hill are both, on both sides of the road, if I remember right, are both duplexes, and then the rest is all single family.
Yeah, okay, I kind of read that wrong though.
The
I don't know
description,
for a fact if it is.
Yes.
it says residential on the tax line.
Oh,
I don't know if that's,
R1 or R2.
Yeah,
that's all it says right on the tax line.
Is this one on the wall current?
It should be.
Who believe on the subdivision plat, that's how it's noted.
This is off of GIS on this one.
Currently it's B2. To the south is R1. And diagonal across is R2.
Code 1, it says here.
So I guess that would be the only question, if the pending sale is an R1 offer, why are we doing R2? Because R1's right across the street, right? Just
So you're
curious.
saying where it says 298 on our drawing, that would be to the south of that, that's R1?
I think that's what we're just reading, right?
Oh, yeah, those are the other two lots tax bills.
So, where it says 291, goes on the same side of the road as Marine Drive is, actually both sides of Marine Drive are R1. But if you go across Stony Ridge, it's R2.
Okay.
So where it says 291 and 298, that's R1. You have to go across the other
Yes.
side of the street to get to R2.
Correct.
Correct.
Then it abuts on R1.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it's an
So
R1.
that, yeah.
I'm just curious, because it was marked and then crossed off, and now Lynn is here telling us
You'd have to go across.
It's
the
an
bridge to
R1
get to
sale.
R2.
R2, yes, yeah.
So we're 102, 104, Stony Ridge, those are R2.
but the applicant is here by Lynn Harriet. Obviously, if there is adjoining R1 property, certainly would make sense to go more restrictive than the other way if we know what it's gonna be used for. Is there any chance that falls through, Lynn?
This offer, probably if it's not zoned for a single-family home,
Okay,
you know,
that's straight up.
yeah. And
So-
that's why I think the lot's been sitting there. The highest and best use is at, where it's zoned right now is,
R1 or R2, I guess.
Right,
I
yeah.
guess what I'm asking is just, is there any objection to changing it to R1 as opposed to R2?
oh, you want single-family.
But the offer is to build a single family.
Yes, the guy just wrote in here, R1, change to R1.
Because our paperwork is showing R2.
R1, R2, because probably.
The R1 is crossed out.
Do you have access to it?
To
Seller?
him?
To the seller?
Oh, we bet.
Can you call him? Yeah.
This is like-
I think it makes more
It's
sense
interesting at
if
night when
it's,
I call him, just so y'all know if you hear me. Hopefully.
I would just be curious, because it's actually written R1 and then crossed off and changed to
Okay,
R2.
okay,
I
sure.
think the building inspector, when I asked,
Yeah.
I can only put one, we have to make a decision, and she said, we'll go with R2 because
Oh.
it's the least restrictive, so.
Oh.
I think that was Sue's.
That's not the least restrictive.
Yeah.
The least rest-
R1 is single family.
Right, so R1's the least restrictive.
No,
Oh,
R2,
excuse me, the most restrictive.
right.
Yeah.
And
Right,
she went
I
with
might say it
R2
backwards.
because there was less.
Thinking it gives him more flexibility.
Because at the time, we did not know there was an offer.
Correct, I get that.
Right, then it just all came and neither did the buyer know that we had made this, or he had made this application, so. Do you still want me to call?
Yes,
And you want,
just ask a question, does he have any objection to amending his request to R1?
okay, okay. You want to
How much does he have here? How much land does he have here?
It's point
98,
nine
Just-
three.
So it's not like it's a great
Basically
big-
an acre.
Yeah.
an acre.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your reaction to that, Eric? I mean, it's the board's decision.
It,
You're talking
I don't know, you know, it butts R1. It's kitty corner from R2, and then across the street right next to it is commercial, so
Yep.
I guess
You can go
really,
either way.
in my opinion, it really hardly doesn't matter.
Okay,
And I think that much property, even if we went R2, we could put a nice size duplex on there.
you
so-
could, okay, and
So,
that's fine, it doesn't belong to me, it belongs to the commission, so.
my,
But now that we have an offer,
I would be
Right.
amenable to either myself.
okay,
because
Hi, Pappy. Peppy, how are you? Well, now behave yourself, we're in the meeting. You're on voicemail, or speakerphone. Attorney Wertz has a question for you.
In the original application, we see that it was noted R1, that's crossed off, and it says R2. In Lynn's presentation, she indicated there is an offer pending for a sale to someone who is prepared to use it as R1. Do you have any objection to the commission rezoning it to R1?
I have no objection at all.
Thank you.
Hang in here. Hey, Peppy,
Yes,
I'll call you in a little bit, okay? I'll call you back, okay? Thank you. I don't wanna complain about the trees and all of it, is it? And start.
And again, it's up to the commission, I just,
Sure.
Thank you.
when you're doing planning, you know what it is, you know what it is. Are you prepared to accept it?
Well, I'm not opposed to just leaving it as R1 also.
No.
Everything on that side of the road is, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be most logical as R1.
Yeah, right, that's what's planned to go there
Consistent.
But
anyway.
it's not a big leap to call it R2, so I'm, like I said, I'm amenable to either.
Well, I'm gonna make a motion to accept this as an R1 zoning.
I'll second.
All right. And I suppose I should officially close the public comment time
Yeah.
at 7:20.
I apologize.
Jump the gun. No, you're
Jumping
good.
the- jumping the
I was
gun.
gonna do the same.
So the time is 7:21. Any discussion on the motion?
He was happy.
Hearing no discussion, all those in favor to rezoning the property to R1, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes.
I think it's safe to say, Lynn, if it were to fall through, this body would consider
Okay,
an amendment from R1 to
okay,
R2.
okay, thank you so much.
I think it's pretty clear that that's the case, but
Right.
right now it is what it is.
All right. Next item is update on the comprehensive plan.
I just have a brief update from Rhea at MSA. The draft of the comprehensive plan is complete, and it is in for editing and proofing. She is expecting it to be done before the end of this month, and so she's looking to schedule the public hearing for our meeting in September, and that'll give us August to review the plan before the public hearing.
So it's coming to us in August.
Or
Okay.
earlier, if I get it, I can email it out.
Okay.
All right. Any project updates or staff reports? No?
Not here.
No. There. Future agenda items?
Nothing right now.
Just comprehensive plan and,
Yep.
all right. Motion to adjourn from anyone?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They're adjourned.